All right, let's dive right in. I want to talk about this hidden force that's quietly shaping almost every decision you make. Every risk you take, or maybe every opportunity you miss. It's this thing that's always running in the background, just beneath the surface, and it has this incredible power to define your entire life. So let's pull back that curtain, right? Let's take a closer look.
So let me ask you a question, straight up. What really dictates what you do in your life? I mean, is it your talent, your dreams, the things you want? We all like to think those are the things in the driver's seat, right? But what if I told you there's something else, something way more fundamental and a whole lot more subtle that's actually calling the shots?
And, well, here it is. This is the big idea, the core of it all. Just take a second and really let this one sink in. It's not about what you're capable of. It's about what you believe someone like you is allowed to do. Wow. That one sentence, that's basically the key. It's the blueprint to the invisible walls and doorways in your own life. So, okay, what is this thing that's given out permission slips or, denying them? Well, we can think of it as your own personal invisible gatekeeper. And that gatekeeper? Yeah, that's your identity. Just imagine it like this, right? On one side, you've got this huge wide open field. That's your potential. It's everything you could possibly do or become. It's massive. But then, on the other side, there's this tiny, narrow little path. And that's the one you're actually walking on. And that huge gap between the field and the path, that whole area is patrolled by this belief about what you're allowed to do.
So that's really what identity is in this context. It's the invisible gatekeeper of all that potential. It literally stands at the door of every opportunity, and it's asking, hey, are you the right kind of person to come in here? And the crazy thing is, this isn't some force out there in the world. Nope, it's all happening inside you.
Most of us think about our identity as just a description. It's a label, like, oh, I'm a shy person, or I'm just not good with money. But the truth is, it's so much more active than that. It's not descriptive, it's prescriptive. It's not just describing who you are, it's literally writing the rules for who you're allowed to be. It's setting the boundaries, drawing the lines in the sand for what you'll do and what you won't.
Okay, so if identity is the gatekeeper, then what are its rules exactly? Well, that's what we're going to dig into next. Those unwritten, unexamined rules that might be holding you back without you even realizing it. Have a look at these. Do any of them ring a bell? I'm not the kind of person who speaks up. I always mess things up. I'm just not creative. I mean, these things we tell ourselves, they feel so real, don't they? They feel like they're just part of our DNA. You think, yep, that's just me. But what if they're not? Because, get this, they're not traits, they're rules, just rules. And think about where they came from. Most of the time, they were written by a much younger version of you. A kid, really, who was just trying to figure out how to stay safe, how to avoid getting hurt or failing. And that was smart. But you're not that kid anymore. And those old, outdated rules are now boxing in a much more capable adult, you. All right, but this next part is maybe the most important piece of this whole thing. This is the big mindset shift, the one that can totally set you free. And it's this simple idea. Your identity isn't fate. It's more like clay. Seriously, think of this as the permission slip you might have been waiting for your entire life. You're not stuck. You're not fixed. You are 100% allowed to evolve. You're allowed to become someone you've never been before. And that's the core shift, right there. See, for so long, maybe you've been thinking of your identity like it's a cage. It's fixed, it's restrictive, it's permanent. But what if? What if you started seeing it as clay, something you can actually work with, something you can shape and even reshape when you need to, something you can expand to give yourself more room to grow? Suddenly the power isn't in the cage anymore. The power is back in your hands.
At the end of the day, it all boils down to this. The only permission that truly matters is your own. You can stop waiting around for the world to tell you you're ready, or that you're good enough, or that you're allowed. Forget that. The only person you ever really need a green light from is yourself. Okay, I get it. This all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? How do we make this real? So let's get super practical. I want to show you a simple tool, a practice for becoming that you can literally start using today.
It's actually a really simple two-step thing. Step one is just noticing that feeling, that little pull you get towards something you want. It might excite you, maybe it even scares you a little bit. That's the longing. And step two is, instead of immediately squashing that feeling, you just ask a very specific question. And this is the magic question right here.
Now notice what it's not asking. It's not asking you to become a whole new person overnight. No way. It's just asking about the very next step, the tiniest step. What kind of belief would you need to have to just take that one step? Maybe it's something as simple as, I'm the kind of person who's allowed to be a total beginner, or I'm a person who can be brave for just the next 5 minutes.
Because really, this is how it works. You know those people we all admire, the ones who seem so brave or so confident? They weren't just born that way, not at all. They are the sum total of thousands of tiny moments where they gave themselves permission to act just a little bit outside their comfort zone, to stretch their identity one tiny step at a time.
So, let's bring this all home. What does this all mean for you, right here, right now? It means that the gate we've been talking about, well, it's unlocked. And honestly, it's been unlocked the whole time.
Look, if you only remember one single thing from our chat today, please let it be this. We spend so much of our lives trying to find ourselves, right? Like our identity is some treasure buried on a desert island. But it's not. It's not something you discover. It's something you authorize. It's a choice. It's a declaration you make every single day with every small step.
So, consider this your official notice. You are allowed to reinvent yourself. You are absolutely allowed to expand. You are allowed to outgrow the version of you that the world, and maybe even you, thinks it knows so well. That's not a life sentence. It's just a starting point. You get to grow beyond it.
So that gate, the one to your own potential, it isn't locked. It truly never was. The only thing that's ever kept you on that narrow little path is the belief that you weren't allowed to step off it. So I'll leave you with this to think about. The gate is wide open. What's your next step?